Welcoming you back to crypto's juiciest news. Did Ethereum finally start to rise up? Is Trump going to fire major loser Raoul Pal? And Tether, oh my gosh, did they really print $2 billion? All of that coming and more, friends. BTC, 119,000 American dollars, giving you the green emoji. Ethereum, friends, it's at 3,395. It's $5 away from 3,400, but I'm a principled man, and I don't forget. I'm like a goldfish. You are going to get the tulip emoji, and you will be upgraded when I say it's time for you to get upgraded. Now, obviously, I'm receiving a few DMs, people getting a bit spicy because, I mean, this is the funny part. Screw the prices. This is the most important part. What emoji will be given to Ethereum when it upgrades from the tulip emoji? So if you go to the emoji keyboard, that's actually a tulip, friends. Remember tulip mania? Everything went to zero. Yes. Well, Ethereum, friends, will be upgraded from the tulip to Dogshit. But you get a smiley face on top of it. So yes, my quote, this piece of Ethereum poop is not getting its tulip emoji removed until I see $4,000 print. And the upgrade from the tulip emoji will be the poo emoji. So what's after that? We haven't decided yet. I don't even want to jinx it. I'm too scared to jinx it. Okay, well, I'm thinking a brown emoji or just a shoe. I'm just going to put a brown shoe or maybe a chair, but we'll see. Now, BTC, friends, 119,000 American dollars. But if you notice something, right, what's actually happened is in the past 48 hours, the switch, something's been flipped. You can see now Ethereum is starting to rocket. It's all about Ethereum now. You're probably also curious, what about the SOL-eth ratio? It's getting Jeffrey Epstein Island visited. That's what it's getting right now. Okay, if you know what I mean. Lollipops for all. So that's what's happening to the SOL-eth ratio. Soylana, friends, has been lured onto Jeffrey Epstein's island because it got told there's lollipops there for all. I'm actually going to show you the SOL-eth ratio. Why it's very important, friends. I'm just going to show you this right now, okay? SOL-eth ratio is still tanking. It's still tanking. And I want to tell you something, okay? Soylana still has the ETF. Soylana has every single major KOL in crypto still sucking it off, okay? It has allegedly 7,200 developers, which I ended up doing research, bunch of BS. It's about 600, but they count 6,500 devs as pump fund token deployers. Just literally spamming JPEGs, okay? I mean, friends, that's like saying, okay, how many scientists do we have in the country? And then you say, oh, I've got 11 million. You go, okay, what's your condition for a scientist? You go, oh, well, I was testing sex positions on my lady friend, and I was checking to see how long we could go before I got hungry. I go, okay, you're testing something. You're a scientist now. You know what I mean? Like that's, you're pushing it. You're pushing it. So the SOL-eth ratio going down. You have thousands of things still meant to happen for Soylana. Now, friends, I'm not here. I'm not cheering anything down. I'm just showing you. See how the market gets ahead of itself and it starts to price in the future. Well, this is what you would call an event failure. This is like a macro event failure. So you have the president chose your chain here. The president chose your chain. Bitcoin maxis chose your chain. Bitcoin maxis love Soylana because it's not a threat to decentralization. They laugh at it. The president chose your chain as well. The ETFs have chosen your chain. Every single major KOL has chosen your chain. So what I'm basically telling you is the price you see here is your expensive euphoria price. Okay? Even though everyone is talking about 0.1, every single person in Soylana land, if you notice 0.1, I mean, like, friends, if you watch our friend Ivan, even Ivan, you notice they always say $10,000 Ethereum, $1,000 soy. They always say that. When you see that, that's a SOL-eth ratio of 0.1, okay? Every single person is talking about that ratio. I guess we'll see what happens. You know, so I just want to show you, like, even though you have all the, like, friend, in crypto, it doesn't matter that you have all the fundamentals, bro. It's just like, if you're betting for odds, it doesn't matter that you're best in the world. What matters is what the market is positioned for you to do. If you're the best in the world, and let's say you're the best in the world at tennis, and the market is positioned for you to be the best in the world, and you're paying only $1.01 to win, well, they're terrible odds. It doesn't matter that you're the best in the world. That's how you think about markets. Yeah, that's why everyone gets wrecked, because everybody just keeps betting on the best in the world. But the best in the world gets everybody to price you into perfection. And that's why people always miss the stuff that are trash, you know? That's the best part about this stuff, friends. When in crypto, you don't need to be number one, okay? But you're not looking for who's going to win. You're looking for what does the market think, and then what do you think? If you can find information asymmetry, you got something else going. I mean, friends, for example, PulseChain and PulseX and Hex, everything ravaged to the floor, yeah? But you even have PulseX conference, Hex conference, PulseChain conference, 3 conferences per year. 3 conferences coming, okay? And they happen, right? You see a community that's not dead, still alive. The market is positioned for it never to come back. I mean, friends, even Ivan, it's a good parameter, right? Ivan got 500,000 followers, subs on YouTube, and even he's joking, maybe Richard never comes back. He's even saying like the market has not even priced in his return at all, okay? So I'm trying to think like a pleb here. You know, we obviously know it's more than that, but I'm just making it very simple for you. Now, if we go and we check out BTC's price, BTC, 119,000 American dollars. We are in the tasty tubes zone. So even though I don't like to say this, but it actually is true. If the bull market ends right here, well, guess what? It's in our tasty tubes zone. It's very sad. Can I tell you something, friends? You know, last year, in the last cycle, the lowest, everyone's estimate was 100K. That was a funny part. The lowest was 100K by the end, 100 to 200, and we didn't even get there. We got like halfway there. So it's about 50K worth. So it is possible, you know, for us to stop here, even though I don't want to pretty much think about that. Also, I've made a video here for you. I want you to really pay attention to this. These are all the narratives that were happening in the Bitcoin halving year, which is like meme coin supercycle from Soylana, pump fund supercycle, Soylana. And then in 2021, when the bull market actually came, pretty much all of you came, most of my audience has come from here, the narratives that you guys got attracted to were not what happened, not the same as what happened in 2020. So in 2020, look what happened, right? So you got to think of these as your Soylana stuff. DeFi, Aave, Uniswap, DEXs, real utility, borrowing, spending, perps, TradFi, yield, tokenizing stocks, securitization, Wall Street coming for yield. That's pretty much all the narratives in 2020, leading into December of the year. None of you participated in any of them in 2021. Instead, we got dog coins, JPEGs, gaming Ponzi's, Metaverse, DeFi 2.0, which is an abomination. It was literally just handing out yield to people without even the use case. Okay? And yeah, Hex and Olympus DAO is pretty much in that category, right? And they blew these things apart. Random layer 1 chains that just went up even though they had no users. Corridanzo hit 100 billion valuation and didn't even have smart contracts, okay? You notice there's a giant discrepancy. So we're witnessing that right now, by the way, okay? Last year, what were we seeing in 2024? We were seeing pump fund, JPEG coins, Soylana, Phantom wallet, fast transactions. That's what you're all seeing. We're all seeing that, right? Among some AI and stuff out here, right? And that's why I'm showing you it's happening in real time. Most likely the narratives that appear got nothing to do with that. Nothing, because we priced it in. Remember, friends, I made videos literally in 2023. I said, look, it's funny, right? I said, whatever pumps in 2024, I predicted. I said, every single person holding whatever it is, they are not going to exit because they're going to think that they're going to run for the whole cycle. But history suggests they're just strong in the Bitcoin halving year and it's a free rotation into Ethereum, but they're not going to take it. It's actually what's happening right now. Actually happening in slow motion. Isn't that true, friends? All the meme coins and everything that ran on Soylana, they were free rotations into ETH, but no one takes it. You see it right now. By the way, you still have a chance, okay? But I'm not saying this thing's going to just go down forever, okay? You maybe have this lower high. Everyone thinks it's mad over, whatever. So isn't it fascinating that these things appear? But, you know, it is what it is, okay? Because you don't want to cheat for anything going down, and we were hoping that we were on it. But, you know, it is what it is. Now, the show stealer. Meth. Finally, it's been a very, very, very long time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you meth. Meth's pretty good, isn't it? Okay, this is the CME chart for meth out here. If you notice, friends, the CME gap, look what it did. It literally shot right through. Do you remember I told you we had record short Ethereum and the average price was $3,000? The average price was $3,000. To our no surprise, it's come up and it's just blown it all through. Isn't it funny? We've literally teleported from 3,000. Literally, look at this, friends. Within a week, 5 days, bang, up to 3,400. So what's actually happening is all the hedge funds are starting to get stopped out. Not just hedge funds, all the Bybit retailers, everyone listening to all these other rubbish out here about adoption. Look, friends, I'll even show you just how deeply entrenched and how offside the whole crypto market is with their thinking. I'm going to show you our friend Raoul Pal. He's made a big essay, and if you notice, friends, they always put Soylana with BTC and ETH. Say, Altseason can be amazing or devastating. He goes, look, first, the tide doesn't lift all boats, so asset allocation is crucial. Second, remember it usually happens in rolling pumps. Look what he goes, what is conviction? Your token must outperform Soy, ETH, Bitcoin to even matter. For me, PUI has a good chance. All right, so if you notice, friends, look at this. It's always soy in here. Soy, always soy. He's like, oh, adoption, fundamentals. That's why it's tough. I know, man. The market's tough, friends. It's tough. That's why when I sit here, I'm like, man, it's just so easy to get walloped in this game, bro. That's why I'm telling you, friends, you can't look at the absolute price, all right? You look at the time it ran for, okay? Soylana had, look at this, man. It ran up for, against Ethereum, it ran up for 2 years. This is, friends, this is literally 2 years, okay? 2 years, that's 24 months, okay? 24 months. Do you know what a long time running up in crypto is? 6. 6 is long. So if you see 6, you have a warning. Bro, we had 24. Why is it that the longer you run up, the more dangerous it is? It's because people always want to buy the winner. Yeah, so they want to buy high. So what they do is they're holding their junk. You know, it could be holding Hex, for example, and PulseChain and pDAI, whatever it is, that maybe it's not as high as you think it is, right? They're holding junk in their mind, even though it's just cheap, but they see it as junk. And then they're hearing all the KOLs say, Soylana has adoption. Soylana's going to outperform Ethereum. Soylana, soy latte, soy. That's all they're hearing all day. So it builds all this FOMO in their head. And then in the next wave, we're still getting walloped. We're still getting crushed. So what they do is, quietly, they're like, you know what? I give up, bro. I'm just selling this stuff. I'm going to buy into soy. And then they become a Soylana cheering boy. Right? It happens with every coin, friends. So I'm not singling out Soylana. But what they don't know is every day that you stay expensive is another day a whole round of Jeets joins you. Okay? And what you'll see is these people, friends, these people don't understand what they're doing with ratios. Okay? So what happens is all these people who get in, friends, do you remember how many people called for the end of Ethereum because Trump chose Soylana here? Do you remember that? Everyone said, okay, the president chose Soylana. That should tell you everything, right? Okay, bro, why are we going down then? It's literally a news failure. Look, this is a major macro event failure. You're down 40% against Ethereum, and Ethereum is still drinking soy. It hasn't even started drinking protein. Do you see what I mean? This is extremely critical price action, but no one pays attention. Right? Because no one pays attention because they're losing on the ratio, but then they go and they read a Raoul Pal essay. They read maybe Ivan and all these, and crypto banter going, Soylana has all the adoption. Soylana, soy. And then your friend Simon comes out in a McDonald's hat, pegging his own nipples, saying, look, man, Soylana, congratulations. You won the Bitcoin halving year. Did you get out? No, you didn't. I know none of you did because no one does. Because you don't want to rotate to meth. Because you think you're too good for meth. All right. Okay, look. Do you really need your teeth anyway? You know? Gums do plenty of good work, friends. So that's why I'm telling you, man, this market and how it shifts, friends. Like, it's funny, everyone's talking about revenue and adoption. But just shut up, bro. Were you here 4 or 5 years ago? How much revenue does Doge have? 0. How much revenue did Hex have? 0. How much revenue did Shiba Inu have? 0, 0, 0. What about gaming Ponzi coins? What about Metaverse? What about the freaking NFT JPEGs? It blew everything out of the water. Those were the winners. If you hunted for revenue, guess what, friends? You know, last cycle, I already told you this. I bought revenue-making coins. They all went to shit last cycle. They didn't even pump. Sushi Swap was making money. I was actually a MakerDAO as well. I was buying the profitable coins. They were all dog shit. They didn't pump. That's when I started realizing the next last bear market, I go, you know what? Screw everybody else. Okay? I'll make my own lollipops. I'm going to find out, why does crypto even have value in the first place? That's where we build all the framework and everything out here, right? Yeah, it's network and it's adoption and all these other things. The hard part is the market price is in the adoption curve perfectly with Metcalfe's law. So you have to find stuff that's not being used now that could get used in the future. You can't buy stuff that's everyone's aware of and using now because it's priced to perfection. Do you get it? You do get it. Now, check out the Bitcoin dominance ratio. It is going down here, 63%. This is, friends, I'm telling you now, this whole thing, like anything above, I'm not even joking, man. I'm just like, this thing's finished, dude. Like, you are in an extremely dangerous area. Anything here, literally anything here. This is very, very, very dangerous. Okay, you're like, this is, you know what? I've said enough at this point. Like, I'll just watch it over time. That's all, friends. You don't need to get everything right. You just gotta be convicted and get a home run once. You just need one, because your win that you make on that big conviction, it's so big, it's asymmetric, yeah, that after that, you don't need to keep, like, for example, if you, let's say you invested 6 months of your living expenses and you made your 20x on your whole thing, yeah? That's huge. Now you have 10 years of living expenses where you don't even have to work. Okay, you don't need to hit a home run again in the next one. You just got to hit like a 2x. Now you've got 20 years of expenses, or a 3x. Do you see that? So it went from, you got to win a 20x the first one. This is what we do. That's why you grind and grind and grind and grind and grind hard. The next one, you don't need to win a 20. You don't need to win a 20x. You know what I mean? You don't need to win a 3. You know, it's almost like in the next bear market, maybe buy Bitcoin at like 80K. Right, 80K, maybe sell it like 300. There you go. There's your 4x, you know? So I'm just showing you don't need to keep hitting these massive home runs, right? Unless, of course, you want to be a Warren Buffett. But, I mean, like, you know, you don't need, after your first billion, who cares about the next one? Now, let's quickly check out some macro stuff out here. The Russell 2000, friends, is still around this retracement zone. I'm going to now just tell you we're in the retracement zone here. Hopefully, this does this big pop-up and we continue up. That's pretty much all we got to watch. Everything else is set in stone. Let's crack on. Now, LibertySwap Finance, which is a rumored Richard Heart project, they received 4,500 follows instantly, making huge cross-chain swapping updates for PulseChain and enhancing privacy solutions for all of crypto. Now, I really recommend watching these videos, friends. Of course, if you're new, I didn't get any sponsorship. No, I don't even know who runs the project. No one knows anything about him. It's rumored Richard Heart. Okay, so I've made 2 big videos. PulseChain's secret weapon is here, LibertySwap Finance, and LibertySwap Finance updates. So pay very close attention to it. The language is like Richard. It sounds like Richard a lot. And then obviously, if you think it's that, that's why, friends, like the market just mispriced pDAI because that account is saying pDAI to $1. Okay, the market has mispriced pDAI. So you just got to think, right? Firstly, Richard has tweeted about LibertySwap Finance. Okay, I'm not saying he's involved. I'm just saying it raises the odds. Okay, now here's the thing. He did tweet about GoPulse, right? And then, okay, they did a naughty move, okay? Maybe they betrayed him. I don't know. But look, think about this. If Richard tweeted about LibertySwap Finance, maybe it's not 100% chance he's behind it. What do you want to give it? 20% chance? Okay. If he's 20% chance he's behind an account that is literally that said pDAI to $1, think about this. Now you're saying there's a 20% chance that a guy like Richard Heart, who you don't want to bet against, is behind the coin that's currently mispriced. I mean, the market's still mispricing it. Look at this. pDAI is still 0.4 cents. 0.4, 0.5. Do you know what that means? That's a percent, pretty much. That's how nice it is, because the payout is $1 if it wins. So the market is saying, look at this discrepancy, friends, right now. So the market right now says 0.5% chance that it will succeed. Okay, 0.5 chance of a payout of $1. Okay, 0.5%. What I am saying, so maybe S for Somi, right? What I am saying is, even if you give a 20% chance he's behind Liberty Finance, at what odds do you want to give that Richard succeeds, by the way? Would you give it like, maybe not 100%, do you want to give it like 75% chance? Okay, so what you've done is, you go, okay, so there's a 20% chance he's behind the project. So you do 0.2 times, say 0.75, 75% chance he succeeds, times $1, that's 15 cents. So I've just computed based off, say, that alone, in my eyes, pDAI should be 15 cents. That's with 20% chances behind LibertySwap. 20%, 1 in 5. Look at this, friends. I'm saying the market should be 15 cents. Okay. Market's saying 0.5%. That's a 30x deviation. 30x. See how asymmetric? Now, here's the thing, right? Because PulseChain's a blue ocean chain, it's not red ocean. It stays cheap for a long time until the market sees more confirmation that it's actually going to happen. Like, for example, look at Bitcoin, right? If you're buying Bitcoin with me while Peter Schiff was fighting it at 3,500 and 4,000 at the end of 2018, I didn't need BlackRock to come out and tell the world that Bitcoin's cool. I didn't need them. You know what I mean? In my mind, I'm like, oh, there's way higher odds this thing succeeds than they're giving it credit for. The people who are buying now, they're buying over $100,000. Guess what? They're paying 30x higher than me because they want more confirmation. Okay. So if you want more confirmation that Richard maybe is behind LibertySwap, maybe it is 15 cents by that point. You're paying 30x. You might say, oh, it doesn't matter. It's going to $1. Okay. I'm here to buy low. I'm in asymmetric upside, you know. Doesn't mean it's over, but that's the best part as well, friends. This thing is so unique. You can pay up so much and it's okay. You know, like if you're paying up $150,000 for a BTC, how much do you have left for this cycle? You see, but everyone knows about Bitcoin. Okay, so that's how the game works. Tether has minted 2 billion USDT. Tether, that's a lot of cuckolds earning zero yield. So remember, Tether, friends, it's minting stablecoins. It's a stablecoin super cycle. It is the lifeblood of cryptocurrency. As more stablecoins get minted, so who's actually minting them? It's all the institutions and funds and people coming in. They want to buy directly, so they need to come in. They need to mint Tether, right? They put money from their account. You know, they give like 100 million to Tether in one round, and then they go do the OTC transaction with Galaxy or whatever it is. They get to buy it. So Tether's market cap's now 160 billion, which is beautiful, friends, because they're earning zero yield, man. So if this thing ping pongs, right, game over for them. Now, friends, I'm going to give you a sneak peek right now. I'm going to have to make another full video on this. LibertySwap. This is so, look at this, friends. LibertySwap reposted and liked this post. Okay. And this post is, here's how LibertySwap gets pDAI to reach $1 and maintain it. Now, do you want to know something suspicious about this account? It was made in the pDAI collapse, April 2025. And then it's got 369 in the bio. And I mean, I'm just telling you, it looks like it's a secret alt account of an insider of something, right? It just looks like it. And like LibertySwap, by the way, I read it and I'm like, oh my gosh, this might actually be how it all happens. Okay, so this is it. So I'm going to make a full video on that. And by the way, look, this thing can go to zero, friends. I mean, I'll just tell you thousands of times, it can go to zero. But what if it doesn't? That's what I'm thinking about. Now, let's continue. Also, we've got to remember as well, with Tether, there's $160 billion of just dogshit yield. Just, friends, just think about, imagine we just got 1%, dude. That's $1.6 billion bridging in. You know what I mean? The chain goes basically ballistic. And why is that? Because if they want to earn yield, there might be a PulseX yield farm. They're like, hey, your Tether, you're going to have to bond it with pDAI. Isn't that cool? We'll see. We'll see if it plays out. Could be going crazy though. Donald Pump has said he has no plans to fire the major loser Jerome Powell, but calls him a terrible Fed chair and criticizes high interest rates and Fed spending. So there's been rumors started off, friends. And let's actually crank it first. All right. There's been rumors that they were going to fire major loser Jerome Powell, but before they do it, they start rumors like that, put political pressure, and then obviously what they do is they go check out their bondholders. They go check out, hey, Warren. They did private calls. Hey, Warren, they go call up Mr. Japan, because Japan, I'm serious, Japan have one of the most amount of bonds in the world. They call up Mr. Japan, the president, their prime minister, and they say, hey, what do you think about, Trump firing Powell? Just their first opinions. And they might be like, whoa, that'd be really bad, man. That would be like, nah, man, I'd have bad confidence in America if that happened, because it feels like it's a takeover of the government from the central bank. That's what dictators do. By the way, that's actually what dictators do in these third world countries. That's how they all go to shit, friends. the president and the prime minister of, these random like Congo and just random Africa countries, they have a central bank. And what happens is they just end up corrupting them. They end up like taking them over. They just control it. And then they set the rates themselves to basically give them the rights to steal from the population. And they just have this vicious cycle out here. So maintaining they maintain this fake independence, but that will be pushing it too far. Peter Thiel, the Antichrist, discloses 9.1% stake in Tom Lee's Ethereum Bitcoin treasury miner. So here we are. Tom Lee, the crowd favorite from the stock market. Tom Lee, very, very, very smart, friends. I love his interviews and stuff. Tom Lee here, and here's Peter Thiel, the Antichrist on the left. Looks like some sort of lizard comedian. He's actually looking more like a lizard these days. So Peter Thiel, friends, he's a snake. He's an actual snake. He literally, at the end of 2021, he goes to the Bitcoin conference or whatever. He says, he goes, I don't own enough Bitcoin. I don't own enough Bitcoin. Literally, next day on his private jet, tells them to sell everything. I'm not joking. It was revealed in their hedge fund report. They leaked one of the reports. So yeah, he's literally full on snake, bro. And I called it out, but everyone was losing money in 2022. Nobody gave a shit. I've got all my articles and stuff out here. He's just full on snake. Okay. Crypto bills have passed a procedural vote in the House. It's kind of funny, man. Everyone's cheering on these acts. Guys, have you read the acts? They're actually horrible. The evil genius stablecoin act, bro. Like, they're making it illegal to hand out a free token to give you yield. Well, it just makes pDAI more better. It enhances pDAI's product market fit. So the biggest pusher of pDAI is the US government. Yeah, it is. So I've got more on that coming later. I'll probably make a whole video on it. PayPal is going to expand its piece of poop US dollar stablecoin to the Arbitrum network. So PayPal have another zero yield dogshit stablecoin no one cares about, handing it out here. Like I said, it's really, that's why I'm telling you, man, the ping pong coin, we got to get the ping pongs out, don't we? Where are we? We'll find it here. Here we are, friends. The ping pong coin. Wouldn't it be very interesting if a ping pong coin, it's going to be funny, friends. It's going to be funny. It's not a stable coin. It's a ping pong coin. What's a ping pong coin? Ping pong, ping pong, ping pong. 99 cents. $1.01. 99. 101. 99. 101. Cointelegraph, Wanker Guru, and other crypto media companies enter a state of cope. So why have they entered a state of cope? This is me. I've noticed, my observation, okay? For some reason today, they're all reporting statistics on Soylana chain, okay? And the Soy-eth ratio keeps going down. Man, friends, I swear I'm here too much. I'm here 18 hours a day. So, yeah, friends, I know, I've been here, man. I've been here. Hey, journalists, I know you're all long Soylana. It's so obvious to me. You're doing all our cope stuff from 2022 when the stuff is still going down and we're looking for fundamental information to tell you that it's okay. But no. It's called the complacency dump. Let me show you. And by the way, friends, just to let you know, journalists is like the end of retailers just in society, because journalists, they wait for all the information to come out and then they write their synopsis, whole story. That's what they do, right? Because they're not numbers people. They don't like look at trends and stuff. They wait for everything to be done and they write the full stories and stuff out here. That's what journalists are always late to everything. That's why they're usually top signals and bottom signals and stuff out here. So what you guys are doing, I'll tell you where you are right now. You are in anxiety. That's what you guys are in. So you're entering a state of anxiety. You're watching Ethereum go up. It hasn't even done any upgrades. Vitalik still drinks soy. Maybe his missus can't walk because he's been chopping her so much. But that's what's happening. You're getting anxiety. You're like, that's weird. Soylana's pump is taking longer than expected, but Ethereum is going up. In this phase. So what they start doing is they go, don't worry, the fundamentals are still good. Don't worry, the fundamentals are great. Everything's great. Everything's great. I mean, even Raoul Pal saying, soy. You got to put soy in there. Soy ETF, Soylana, soy up and down, left, right. Look, man, I hope it doesn't happen like this. I don't want to see anything go down like this. I really do feel for you. I'm just saying, I know 99% of pump fund users lose money. They know they lose money. They want a new casino. So right now they think they're going to win by going to the bonk fund thing. No, okay? These teardrop tattoo face kids who paint their own fingernails and are on TikTok all day in the brain rot generation who believe in nothing. They want something to believe in. All right? They want something to believe in. Changing a JPEG every 4 hours and then getting Ansoy to stick out his feet so they can suck the toe jam, that's not believing in something. That's basically enriching another KOL's bags. And guess what, man? Like we got enough of that in this industry. So what they're going to witness is greatness. They're going to witness a community / communities who believed in something like XRP Army, and it's going to pump to the moon, and they're going to realize they've played this whole cycle wrong. They're going to realize when they were trading, they should have been holding. Yeah, and what they're going to do is they're probably going to go on FOMO by the top because they have no concept of what an expensive thing is. They just want to join a movement. And when the movement is its largest, they're going to have so much FOMO that they want to belong to something. If they finally get in, they will be our top signal. That's just how it's going to play out. And then I'm going to be making videos that's going to get basically 18,000 downvotes because I'm going to say, hey, guess what? When you should have been holding, you actually should have been, you were trading, okay? That was in the bear market. But now that you're holding, you should actually be taking profit. But you're like, no, that's not going to happen because I just got in. And so repeats the cycle. Vitalik Butthole says minimalism is key for layer 2 success. Leverage Ethereum's security instead of rebuilding from scratch. So I'm just going to translate for you. Ethereum layer 2s are dog shit, and now we have to pump layer 1 Ethereum price. That is a translation for what he's saying. They just speak in like those words. If you're from Bulgaria, oh man, Bulgaria, my Bulgarian baby dolls, they disclosed they sold 213,500 Bitcoin back in 2018. I guess Bulgaria government, when you were selling, I was buying. It was worth $25 billion today. So they could have wiped out the nation's entire public debt if they just hodled. So now they're in a state of cope and regret. Now Germany and Bhutan will be in a state of cope and regret next. Oh, it's going to be great, friends. You know, I guess in the next bear market, there's going to be Bitcoin treasury companies. You and I are going to be buying their blood. Binance CZ says Bitcoin could solve most public debt. It could, but no. Like, it solves their debt as in you buy it and then you got to sell before the other countries sell. But they haven't figured that out yet. You're going to see them FOMO buying the top. Okay, it's not going to stop them. The Fed rate cut odds have surged to 63% for September amid rumors of Jerome Powell's dismissal. So what I'm going to do, friends, I'm just going to go to the CME group, the FOMC countdown. It's in 13 days, 14 days. And what you can do is actually check out the rate odds here. So you have a 97% chance of no change for the next meeting. However, that's for Julie. If you go to Rectember, there's a 58% chance of a rate cut out here. I guess they just want to see Jerome Powell with the, say 60% chance of one rate cut. But no one cares about one rate cut, bro. Like, we want a walloping like 200%. So we'll see. More interesting news. Trump's World Liberty Finance may soon list World Liberty Finance token after the Dow voted yes. And I've added here, it's very sad that the scum Uniswap team have still not implemented the fee switch, despite having a 99% yes approval to activate their fee switch, which is like doing a buy and burn if they want, right? Since 5 years, man. What a wasted opportunity. So they're around 5 billion market cap now. They should be 100 billion. I calculated all the net volume of the buy and burn if they were putting it in. But man, that's what happens, man. When you're a self-sabotaging, puberty-blocking twink who believes in nothing, then that's what happens, man. They literally self-sabotage, friends. It's just very sad, you know. It's just like, I don't make too many inferences, but these are the people. They're like, you know what? We've got a country full of wonderful women in our nation. I know. Let's go import a lot of third world immigrants. Yes. And then when they commit crimes against our women, let's not prosecute them. What a great idea. So, friends, these are self-sabotaging people. These are the people, friends. That's why you can't let them get to the top. You know, you need them around because they're smart. They got good ideas, but you just can't let them make decisions because they're too smart for their own good. They're not 160 IQ. They're like that dangerous 110 to 119 zone, where you're a bit above average, but you're not smart enough to really accelerate above everyone else, okay? PulseX is a proper buy and burn fee switch token, and it can fly much higher, okay? So PulseX, let's check out its buy and burn here. It's on 7.41% of the total buy and burn. Seeing some green on the board. Hopefully we see more. I'll just refresh the page. Yeah, we got a long way to go, you know what I mean? If I just refresh the page again, yeah, 8% and 10s, no one cares, you know what I mean? You got to get a 300% to get us mildly excited. Also, just to let you know, friends, I don't know how else to put it, but PulseChain needs to do a 13x rally from here, and you are now break even from 4 years ago. I'm not even joking. Yeah. I can show you now. It's based off the Pulse-btc ratio. And I can show you here, this is the PLS-btc ratio. See, it's down 92%, and this is where we are now. We literally need to do, this is exactly 12.7x just to get back to your ratio from 4 years ago. So that's what I'm saying is, if you sell PulseChain between now and actually, let's go and do a 13x on the real PLS price chart. If you sell under this price, you're actually taking a loss. And what's this price going to be? Let's actually do basically a 1200% move. This 13x here. So if you sell under 3.7x SAC price, this is a loss. This is all a loss. Anything under here, you're actually taking a loss. Right? Now, will people listen to that? No, because this is people have had enough. They're selling and everything out here. It's dog shit. I know, man. I know. This is but this is the game, friends. Like, look, I'm not a salesman. Okay, I hate salesmen. I just don't. It's not my thing. But facts are facts, right? How long did you laugh at XRP Army for? Yeah, and then look what happened. Pop. See, you know what I mean? So, and look at Soylana. How long did they laugh at Ethereum for? Maybe Ethereum's gonna go pop. You know, maybe. So I'm just showing you that eventually the time comes. You just don't know when. Now, you probably want to know where to from here. I'm going to show you, friends, blockchain backers thing of where he's going here. But I'm first going to say, I know, man, because I'm long and I'm biased and I'm coping. I just personally, I don't think it's over where he says it's over. He says it's over in 30 or 60 days. So the left-hand chart is Bitcoin right now. We are in the green circle. And on the right is what it did in the past. This is the pattern he's thinking of, okay? So he believes Bitcoin is now going to enter the final phase of this euphoria, where Bitcoin goes to 130-ish, and then when it comes back down, here is our final Altseason burst, and it's literally all over, okay? Just like this. That's what he believes is happening. And remember, just squiggly lines could happen. Look, that chart pattern could happen. I just don't think it's over from that point. Why? The business ISM says we haven't even kickstarted the bull market. We have not kickstarted the bull market. And look, man, I don't know, friends, because I don't want to say, this time is different, blah, 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 because there was many things you could have pointed to in 2021 saying it's not over when it was. But, man, this is such a big fundamental macro thing. We have not had a business ISM above 52 yet. We haven't even, literally, I hate to talk. I don't talk like this. It hasn't started yet. But I'm genuinely telling you, according to all this stuff, it actually hasn't started. Now, when it starts, it could go really fast. That's another thing. So it is possible that business ISM just rockets between now and altcoins run, July, August, September, October, November, December, and then maybe Bitcoin tops out December, and then altcoins run in January, and that's it. The next 6, that is possible. Where we literally just go freaking up only and have this big giant wallop move. If that happens, okay, let it happen. You know what I mean? We can't do anything about it. Just let it keep running. But if we run up 2 months and we get a reset, I guess we're going to run into next year. That's how I see it. This is the XRP chart that is repeating its fractal. Okay. Now, I just want to show you something as well. With XRP, this is the Russell 2000, expecting to pop up higher. This is gold's price chart. This is a very similar structure to what Bitcoin has done, where we've now popped up here. See where Bitcoin's up here? Now we're around here. Just showing you these things, there's just human emotions and stuff swinging back and forth. This is what they do. More of this is similar to where we are now, gold and BTC. This is XRP. In the past, XRP on the bottom chart, that's XRP in the past. It went to its highest fib. Okay, it went to its highest fib, the 4-1. If this goes to the fourth one, it's about $8-9. Okay, and then blockchain backer says he's gonna sell like at least 70% up there, and he's gonna leave a bit. But that's what I've said. Okay, let's see what they do if it doesn't hit $9. What if it stops at the middle fib, $5.50? Yeah, because it's not gonna stop there for 9 months and say, hey everybody, I am the top. It's time for you to sell. It doesn't do that. At $5.50, it's another coin toss. Either the next move is up to $9 or it's back down to like $3. You get it? So I'll just show you now, right? I'll show you that chart. That's why it's very, very important, friends, just so you learn from this as well. By the way, I'm looking at Pump Fund. Wow, man, how did Pump Fund retrace? That's wild. Why is Pump Fund going down? It's down around 6 units. Remember the ICO thing was here. Very interesting. Why I'm looking at it. Why is Pump Fund going down as Ethereum is rocketing? Like, it could have been the final boss exit liquidity, just like PulseChain. You know what I mean? Like the top secret. So I hope it's not, man. I hope it's not. I just want to show you XRP chart. Why I'm watching XRP, friends, as well, is because XRP was a key leader of 2017. You know, so here's the price chart: $3 of XRP. It's right here. So the fib is up here, $8.80. This is blockchain backers getting out here. And that's what I've said. All right, man, what if this happens? What if it comes up and it stops at like $4.40 or $6? And it comes up here, bang, and then next stop is what are you going to do now? Are you going to get out $3.50? Are you going to get out here, right? What I think is going to happen is we're going to come here, right? And then it's going to be arrow up or arrow down again. And guess what? Everyone's going to be like, okay, we're just here for arrow up, right? And it's probably going to, I hope it works out. That's what I think is going to happen. And why is that? It's a believer cycle, bro. I just think it's because it's a believer cycle. That's what I think is going to happen. I just want to show you this as well, friends. This is, remember Game of Trades? They renamed to Bravos Research. Man, I've been watching Game of Trades. Man, he's been doing bearish videos for 1.5 years straight, and the S&P 500 has been freaking rocketing. He goes, it's over, unemployment rate's all going to spike. It's so dangerous. This is dangerous. You know, friends, I messaged him, Game of Trades, I messaged him in 2022. All right, I did. And why'd I message him? Because I was like, hey, bro, love your channel. It's great. There's a problem, though. You've only got 5% Bitcoin and Ethereum allocation. I think it was mostly Bitcoin. You've only got 5% allocation of Bitcoin, and you think that's aggressive. I said, bro, what do you, like, S&P 500, what are you wasting your time for, man? Like, you got to have like 70% allocation of Bitcoin. And he scoffed at that. He laughed. Look how much he would have been up with his fund. I was literally messaging down here. Man, that's wild, friends. So think about it. If you had a $100,000 portfolio, you had $5,000 in Bitcoin here. Okay, it was $5,000 down there. Your $5,000 is now 37. Now 35. Yeah, 35,000. But man, I was. You see, friends, we're all betting on the same stuff. I was trying to tell him, I go, bro, we're all betting on the same thing. You know that. If you're just going to hold the S&P 500 for a few years anyway, Bitcoin's going to be up. And then they just don't believe. So, well, that's what happens, man. We're all betting on global M2 rising. But everyone's going to have to learn their own way. So it makes you laugh, man. You're wasting all that time in like gold and divergences on the S&P 500 where just crypto's blowing all of these things out of the water. Now it's time for the altcoins. Like, subscribe, belly button, or catch you in the next one.